Hi there, I'm Stephen Day from the Virginia Council on Economic Education, and I'm here today with Shawn Fisher from State Farm. Shawn, tell us about yourself.
I am a 15-year State Farm agent, originally from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and my agency is located in Chesapeake, Virginia, which is just a few miles away from Virginia Beach. And coastal Virginia is who we service, and also North Carolina.
Thank you for joining us today, Shawn. So today we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. So an entrepreneur is somebody who owns their own business, somebody who takes the risk to organize productive resources, land, labor, and capital to make a good or service, and somebody who makes something new, someone who is their own boss. And Shawn, you're an entrepreneur. Would you just tell us what it's like to be an entrepreneur?
I've always described it as 50% amazing and 50% scary, very scary. And it's the reason, the amazing side, we'll go, I guess, down that side first is, you named it, I'm my own boss. That's awesome. I don't think that anyone would turn that down coming out of high school or college. The opportunity to be their own boss and have that flexibility is amazing. You basically get to create your business from the ground up. So you steer the path of the business. You make the decisions early, in the middle, and later on. It's basically your creation, and you're creating something from scratch, which is really cool. And then maybe the biggest one is that there's no cap on income. You can go as far and as fast as you want.
That's nice.
And yeah, I mean, when I was working hourly, I remember we were fighting for hours, and that was a big deal. We made the same amount of money per hour, but there weren't enough hours to give everybody. So I remember, gosh, I can't wait until I can work as much as I want. And, fast forward, and we had that opportunity in the sales world and in this business to do that. And I also offer that to my employees. They can come in here and work and make as much money as they want, which is nice. On the scary side, of course, there are things that you do when you're an entrepreneur that you weren't really good at in high school or college, things like accounting and payroll and all the number crunching that is involved. I started doing that initially in my business and realized right away that that was not my strong suit. So I farmed that out. I've hired an accountant. I've hired a payroll company. They do everything with my numbers, even on marketing. I've got a company that analyzes what I spend on marketing and lets me know what's working and what's not working. Even though I know it sometimes myself, they shine a light on it. So the moral of that is definitely find people to do the things that you're not really good at, or even that you don't like.
And what are you good at?
Selling, talking to customers, assuring them that things are okay, that person-to-person stuff, coaching my team, working with employees that are licensed. They want to maybe be an agent of their own, own a business down the road. I like that. I think I'm good at that. Another scary thing was, initially, you may not be making as much money as you want to make initially, low income to start. You do make sacrifices when you open a business, whether you're putting your savings in or whether you're taking out loans to start a business. That could affect your income initially. So you have to have a lot of faith in yourself, and that income will improve. It definitely has for me over 15 years. And it's something that I guess you have to see to believe, but it does improve. And then bills, I was never good at paying the bills at my house. I'm lucky to be married and have a couple of kids, and my wife is our household accountant per se. So she pays all the bills and does all that and makes sure everything gets taken care of. So when I started my business, I really had to jump into that world myself. So initially I started writing checks and making sure everything got taken care of. And now I'm able to automate everything and then just analyze it. So I've gotten a little bit better at that over 15 years. That was definitely something that I wasn't great at initially.
Tell me about a time where you maybe thought that you didn't have what it took, but you were able to build up your skills to get it done.
I'll go back to when I was in school. I waited tables and cooked at restaurants and so forth.
Yeah, me too.
To give me some spending money and help my mom out and having to give me money. When I graduated college, the market was crazy for jobs and what I wanted to do. So I continued to work in restaurants and just buy some time. And I was worried after about 2 years. I was like, what am I going to do? I got to get a real job at some point. And there was a day where the owner of the business asked three of us, does anyone have any management experience? We'd had a manager walk out unexpectedly, and they were looking for someone maybe to start in the management program. And I raised my hand without thinking, and it was a little nervous, but I had a friend that was a manager. He'd actually moved in with me, so he's my roommate at the time. And we had talked about management. I'd learned everything that he was doing. I watched what he did day to day, and I just took a chance and said that I had some experience. I wanted to move forward. And I started managing. I started validating my resume, so to speak, because I had waited tables for a few years and bartended. So I was able to say that I moved up in the restaurant world. I managed restaurants for about 3 to 4 years after that, and then I was able to take that resume and go into other career paths from there.
So in that time after you raised your hand, you probably went into overdrive learning about management even more after you did that,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. I had to change a lot of things about my social life and who I was doing, but it was also very empowering to do that. I had to learn a little bit more about, the procedures, about safety, about health code, all those things that you don't really learn about when you're just a regular old employee, whether you're waiting tables or bartending, about profit and loss. So those are all things that I learned then that I was able to use later on when I opened my own business, which was probably, I guess it was like 20 years later.
We talk a lot in entrepreneurship and about in just making a career path about looking for opportunities and seizing opportunities. And I don't know if I've seen as stark an example anywhere as somebody at the restaurant saying, who has management experience? I mean, you would have had to have been ready to seize that opportunity. And that's exactly what you did. And then you had to keep on building yourself up over time after that. And then you became an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it wasn't really a cool thing at the time. Managers, you had your good, cool managers, your not cool managers, but it was something that I was ready for. And it just bridged that gap from what I was doing into the next step. And I had faith in myself, and it paid off.
Shawn, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about entrepreneurship.
Happy to. Thank you.